Hi, welcome to IELTS. In this video, I'll be dealing with the types of questions that I've seen in the reading tests of various exams. In my teaching career, I've dealt with about 40 types of exams, like 33 I've taken, and I've taught other exams also. So maybe 40 or 45, or maybe in this vicinity only. And I observed that the exams, not only have questions that differ in their structure, like some are MCQs, some are blanks, some are otherwise you know made and presented to you. There are certain nuances also that you have to take care of, as in what the question asks for. You might have to infer something, or you might have to state something that is true, that is on the surface. Sometimes you have to figure out the title or whatever. So there's a lot to take care of. Just that you should not be dealing with the keywords and all only. There is no rocket science that I'm going to present to you right now. It's very simple. Okay, simple in the sense that you did not have to have anything that was magical. Hard work is going to be there, and that there is no substitute for that. So I'll be talking about all the knowledge that I've gained through my experience, and the types of questions that I've dealt with. And let's see if it turns out to be something fruitful or not at the end. Uh, I'll just let's start. I'm going to write using pen and pad after so long. See, the range of this exam will go up to the GMAT, as in GMAT and CAT, I think, have the most difficult types of reading comprehensions, and perhaps LSAT and SAT also. And there are some easy level exams also, like PTE, IELTS. IELTS is mostly difficult because of its vocabulary, but it's, I would say, critical reasoning skills are not that, I would say, philosophical, but still. So fine, the first type that we commonly see in our exams is the fact-based type. When you're asked such questions like which of the following is true, which of the following is stated, or there could be a blank of this sort where you have half the information or a proportion of the information, and you have to select or write the you know rest write the rest of the part. So there could be a blank. Now, if you see, true stated means whatever is there, you have to just consider it the gospel truth. You do not have to apply your brains to arrive at an answer. So do not do so. No, true means what is there in the passage. You do not have to go beyond even by a centimeter. So why to go? For instance, you have this question. This is the statement: monks exercise daily, and the question asks you which of the following is true. Now it gives you four options. Okay, let me erase some stuff. Let me just see the combination. So you have a statement, monks exercise daily. On the basis of it, you are given a question which the following is true. And the options are monks exercise, monks were health conscious, monks didn't exercise on a daily basis, and monks had a habit of exercising. Pause the video and think the answer. The answer to this one would be monks exercised. So let's see. As I told you, which of the following is true means that you have to state what is there in the passage. You do not have to think what the basis of the statement is or what the author might have thought of while writing this passage or whatever. You just have to stick to what is there. You do not have to apply brains to go beyond go beyond the passage even by a centimeter. And if we see the second option, monks were health conscious, this is a kind of result where you have assumed from or inferred from the given statement that if they exercise daily they are health conscious. So we cannot get to a result. We have to find something that is true, not something that could be true or that could be inferred. So the second one is wrong. The third one is wrong. This is where the I would say the knowledge of English comes into play. As in, if you see, monks did an exercise on a daily basis mentions the number of exercises and exercise. That means one exercise, one type of exercise. But I have not mentioned that. I have just given you that they exercise daily. I have not stated the number of exercises they performed or whatever. So three comes out to be null. Monks had a habit of exercising. Again, something we are assuming they could be stipulated to uh, exercise. They could be, given this condition that if they exercised, they would be given food, or there could be a hell lot of reasons for their exercising daily. We do not have any information to corroborate that they exercise because of a habit. So it could be a habit, it could be a law, it could be a kind of condition for their maybe living. We cannot, come to this conclusion that they had a habit of doing this. So yeah, let me reconsider my point. Yeah. So four is something that requires you to go beyond the passage a bit. So four can't be the answer. The answer is one. Now you would ask perhaps that where is the word daily? See, if from A to C something is true, then even a part of it is true. So even if I leave out the daily part, then monks exercise is going to remain true also, no? So that is fine. So the answer is monks exercised. Now the second question that you might get to see is the inference one, where you have to actually derive a result. Like, what does the author suggest? What can be inferred? What is implied, and all these terms suggest, implied, inferred, assumed, and all. So here you have to actually, uh, you know, perform an operation and get beyond what is there. And of course, such questions are based on, you know, a probability. So you have to see what kind of probability the question is asking for. Like it will always say which of the following is most likely implied or least likely is least likely suggested or something, and they would give you such modifiers. And I'm specifically talking about the GMAT, the CAT, or something like that, because I don't think you would get such a question in IELTS. I think I got such questions in TOEFL perhaps once. Yeah, there were, I think, some implied questions and all, but again, the level of critical reasoning was not on a par with the level of the level of critical reasoning that you have to have in the GRE and the GMAT and other NB exams. So let's take the same statement. Monks exercise daily. Now I ask you, which of the following can most likely be inferred? Now I'm going to present to you four options again. Let me see the formation. Okay, pause the video and select your answer. I hope you did so. So see here it is, of course you have to have a probability for each of them, and not the numerical one, but the I would say the estimated one. That which one do you think is most likely to be an inference, like which has the highest probability of being true? And of course, none of them is true 100% because we do not have any information regarding their specific uh, points of reference. But we can derive them from the given statement. But which has the most I would say possibility is something that is going to be our answer also, because most likely to be inferred. So um, so if you see, if someone is exercising daily, there is a chance that person there is a chance that the person is health conscious. It seems quite reasonable, so we can say like this has a probability of being true at maybe 50%. There is a there is a fair chance. Marks for Instagram models, so this is a bit that you have to think, you have to take into account very many points to arrive at this conclusion. Like for the first one, you have to just go from the aspect of exercising to the aspect of being health conscious. So there was just one leap that you had to take. But here, monks for Instagram models, monks exercise daily so that they could look good. And that could be because they were Instagram models. So they had to present themselves to be very sexy. So they exercise daily. So you have to think of, a hell lot to arrive at this conclusion. So it could be true, but seems very, you know, improbable or hardly probable, I would say. So let's say perhaps 20% is the probability. These are just the ways of explaining. Of course, you do not have to find the probabilities over there. I think the same is the case with the word gym, with the phrase. Sorry, I think the same is the case with the third option where being gym rats is a bit far fetched. You'll have to think a lot. As in, monks exercise daily, so they were crazy about going to the gymnasiums. It could be, it is, it seems to be more probable than the second one, but again, it's not as probable as the first one because gym rats, do not just go to the gym, they are crazy about the gym. So you'll have to have that element of craziness also, which is not really depicted by the given statement. So perhaps 30%, perhaps. Monks were Nora's fans. Of course, Nora Fatehi. I don't think I need to even explain this one because she is fit and they want to follow their idol. So they are also fit and they are trying to remain fit. So they're exercising daily. Too many steps to consider. So the most probable one is this one. So this would be the answer. So this would be the answer. Fine. So sometimes the question comes where you're asked the uh, purpose of a specific piece of information, like why has the author mentioned this thing, or where do you think this point makes sense and all. So what is the purpose of this information, or what is the reason for the inclusion of this piece of information? Blah blah blah. Let's write a paragraph for that one, and my former students are going to laugh because I have not changed my examples since time immemorial, but these are safe examples. I've scrutinized them and I've known that there are no words in them. If I make a new one now, I'll have to get into my mode of being, you know, fussy person. I'll have to think about the possibilities, and also I cannot waste that much time. So let's write a paragraph, small one. Let me just consider the information. So yeah, pause the video and try to find the answer. And this question is like that asks for the purpose of a specific piece of information, as I told you earlier. Now see, again you have to choose the best option, because here also we are not given in the passage why the information is there, but we have to reach a conclusion in our own way to, you know, find the answer. And of course, you have to choose the most probable one, because anybody can have any opinion, and you have to choose the one that seems to be the one that would be selected by the majority, like that seems to be the closest one, that seems to be the most common state of affairs, or the most probable basis for something being there, perhaps. So let's see the first one. To start the character sketch, this is a bit awkward because, um, as in, the character sketch started at the character sketch started at Kabir Singh only. We did not need to have the father to start the character sketch. So a bit awkward, clumsy. To talk about Kabir's goodness, you do not mention someone's slapping his father to talk about his goodness. So clumsy here. This one can be negated. To give evidence for Kabir's ire means anger. Could be. Now, if we see between 1 and 3, 3 is better, because slapping is a piece of evidence for, you know, ire. To refer to the extent of Kabir's wrath. Wrath again is anger. So improve your vocabulary if you did not know the meaning of the words. So now if we see, slapping your father is not something that you do on a regular basis, and that is here that he did it once. So something that you do, as an extreme, is something that represents the extent of something that you possess. Perhaps I am so fond of ice cream that I ate 15 ice creams once. So that is not my regular habit that I eat 15 ice creams every day. So that is something that could give an extent to which you can go to express your fondness, or to which you can be greedy. And that is the case here also. Like, he slapped his father once, he doesn't slap his father every day. So give evidence for Kabir's ire is a bit, weaker in front of the fourth one, because the fourth one refers to the extremity which is there because it happened once, and one is further inferior to three, perhaps, because one sec. Yeah, the starting did not require the father. So the best out of these is the fourth one, that refers to why something happened once, and how it is useful here, as in it is used to refer to the extent of the anger of Kabir Singh. Let me just see the time. I have a class afterward. Sorry, this time. Fine. And after that you might get to see such a question: logical structure. This is, I think, a favorite of MBA exams only, as in, you do not have to find what is there, you have to find what is there in regard to how it is presented. So you have to find the structure of something, like how it is presented, what the course of action is over there, or what they have tried to show. uh, Sorry, how they have tried to show something, like how they have formed the passage, which pattern is followed. Perhaps pattern is a good term here, as in how the things have been presented rather than what things have been presented would be the uh, you know the clincher in this question logical structure. Let's take an example. Okay, this question could have such words like analogous, similar, follows the same pattern. Like, which the following is analogous to the given or given piece of information, or which of the following is most similar or least similar. As I said, these are all probability based questions. You have to choose the best one or the worst one. You do not have a specific answer that can fit the bill in any condition. Follows the same pattern, perhaps uh, the kind of sibling of the given type. Okay, so let's see this one. We'll have to see as in which one is most analogous to a given situation, which is since everyone is good, I am good. So if you see, there is a structure that is followed that someone uh, has a condition because everyone has that condition. So since the universal set has that situation as true, so a single person, no, this is the set of all people. Since all have that condition, this single individual has that condition. Now, since you are nice, I am nice. This is wrong. Why? Because it uh, compares one person to another. That is not the case. They should have been all here. As in, we do not know if this you is singular or plural concept. Yeah, we have to show that this first side has everyone. So as in not just by the word, but there should be every element considered here, but that doesn't seem to be the true state of affairs, because you can be one person, you can be everyone, but we are not sure about that. So this seems a vanilla option. We cannot be sure about anything here. So let's keep it in I would say in the maybe probable options box, but not a very nice one. Because all are fine, I can be fine. That is the problem here. I can be, I have to be, because is if something is true, it has to be true here also. It can be true is not something that the question looks for. So straight away no. As all are allowed to marry, I'm going to marry you. The previous, this is something I think perhaps the opposite of the previous one, the second one. Here the first set has that can condition that they are allowed to do that. If they're doing that or not, we are not sure about that. So that cannot be the right first part. But the second one is something that we were looking for, but the first one is the killjoy here. So again, not the answer. This is a very clear picture. Since everyone is what I'm what, something I would say that can act as a mirror image to the given state of affairs. Since you are nice, you can be one person also. So I do not know. This could be one to one, and that is not required. What required, what is required is that you have a set that includes all to give a result for one. So that is better in the fourth one. Let me just reconsider it. Let's just see the time. If I have, I'm gonna see the time. If I have time, I will continue this video, or I will continue this shebang in the next part. Oh, yes, I still have time. After that, we can do. Okay, let's do this one. Main idea. Uh, this is also something that can correspond to the title question thing, because the main idea, if written in a metaphorical way, is the title, I think. So what is the main idea? Suppose you have, let me construct something. If you see, this passage has five paragraphs, and a good writer would discuss only one theme in a paragraph. So there are five paragraphs. So the first one deals with Sudhir's work, the second one with his failures, the third one with his successes, and the fourth one with his marriage, and the last one with his death. So if you see, a person's life is, you know, between two limits, birth and death. So this could pass for a kind of succinct biography. So a good, main idea could be like this. Okay, let me give you four options. Let let's write titles only. So I'll have to take care of the capitalization. So, hmm. So this one talks about my birth, my failures, my successes, my marriage, and my death. So if we see the first option, the highs and lows of Sudhir, this could be true for these two paragraphs only. Because, of course, the death is a low, the marriage dependent on your perspective. Okay, I don't want to make one of those sexist jokes. So, marriage is something again, birth and all. So, they could be considered highs and lows at certain junctures, but you have to choose the best option after out of the given collection. So, let's move a bit further and we'll come back to the first one. Sudhir, a successful failure. So this could have been a title to a passage that would have proven me a failure, but who uh, had perhaps encouraged a lot of people. That is why even after being a failure, I would have been successful. Doesn't seem to be the case with this passage because it talks about failures and successes separately. So, and also where is marriage and all those things. Again, good and bad, very obscure, very ambiguous. We do not know which is good and which is bad. And if you are saying good is successes and bad is failures, again, then that doesn't cover the whole passage. The title has to be given to the passage rather than to specific paragraphs or a specific paragraph. So, not the best one. Now, Sudhir and his lot, that is the best one, I think, because lot means destiny. So if I am talking about the journey from my birth to my death, that could be encapsulated using this word lot, because destiny includes everything: birth, failures, successes, marriage, death, and all. So this one seems to be the best one. But let me reconsider my point. Yeah. The highs and lows could have been uh, a worse option, as in if I had chosen it in place of four. So the fourth one is the right one because it encompasses everything that is there in the passage from the birth to the death. So I'll continue from here only in the next video. This is part one, and this series, I will see the response to this video. If it okay, I'll try to make the complete series, even if this video is a flop or something. It's okay. So I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.